This is one of the strongest acids used in industry. To make it, plants start with refined sulfur. Steam coils heat it until the sulfur melts. Then it is sent into the burner. Fine sulfur droplets mix with oxygen, forming sulfur dioxide gas. Next, the gas passes over a special catalyst. That reaction moves the process closer to sulfuric acid. We are inside a Rosatom facility, a large industrial plant in the Far East. These bags hold solid sulfur. It is bright yellow. In solid form, it is fairly stable, but it is still handled carefully. Every step here follows strict plant safety rules. The first step is melting the sulfur. Solid sulfur is fed into a heated tank. Sulfur melts a little above 110 degrees Celsius. So in the plant, the temperature is carefully controlled. The heat also helps separate dust and impurities. Step 2 is combustion. The molten sulfur is sprayed into the furnace. Inside, it reacts with oxygen in the air, becoming sulfur dioxide. This is the first gas stage. This is the furnace viewing port. From outside, you only see a flicker of color. That glow comes from sulfur burning in a controlled chamber. It is dangerous because the temperature can reach 1,000 degrees. A thick steel plate keeps the furnace sealed. Even here, workers are allowed to look in for less than a minute. After that, the port must be closed. If it stays open, sulfur vapor can coat the glass. And once that happens, it is very hard to clean. The combustion furnace is below our feet. Upstairs, above the furnace, sensors monitor the system in real time. If a leak is detected, an alarm sounds in the control room. Sulfur dioxide also appears during volcanic eruptions. In high amounts, it can help create acid rain. Step 3 is conversion. Sulfur dioxide is changed into sulfur trioxide. That is the next stage. Before this reaction, the gas is cooled to about 400 degrees. The heat from the reaction is not wasted. It is captured by heat exchangers. In winter, temperatures here can fall below zero, so that recovered heat can help provide hot water for workers. There are no towns nearby, so it can also warm the dormitories. Once the gas reaches the right temperature, it enters a converter like this one. The gas moves through the tower in stages, but the converter alone cannot drive the reaction efficiently. That is why it uses catalyst beds. Layer by layer, the gas passes through them. Inside are small catalyst pellets. They look simple, but they do important work. Each one is about thumb-sized. The surface contains vanadium pentoxide. This solid catalyst speeds up the reaction as the gas keeps moving forward. It reaches this section. This converter has 4 layers. The gas flows through each layer, reacting a little more each time. After each layer, heat exchangers control the temperature. Sulfur trioxide is still very hot. It cannot be added straight to water. That would create acid mist. First, the gas is cooled further. When vapor leaves the heat exchanger, there should be no liquid water. That shows the system is working properly. It is not smoke, it is vapor. Here, sulfur trioxide is not absorbed directly by water. That would make a heavy acid fog. Instead, the absorber uses concentrated sulfuric acid. The water balance is controlled. Today, the system runs as a closed loop. Very little gas is allowed to escape. That includes sulfur dioxide as well. Sulfur trioxide can still appear as a fume, but through this observation port, we no longer see smoke. That means the sulfur trioxide has been absorbed. Now comes the acid. Older plants once used the lead chamber process. Modern plants usually rely on the contact process instead. It is more efficient. What we are seeing today is catalytic oxidation in the contact process. A large, mature plant like this can produce hundreds of thousands of tons a year. Most of this acid is used inside industry, where purity and control matter. The absorbing acid is also recycled. It captures sulfur trioxide again and again. When needed, water is carefully adjusted. Once production exceeds demand, the acid flows into finished product tanks. From there, it can be stored and shipped to customers. Sulfuric acid production is a precise system. It depends on heat, pressure, chemistry, and control. When we look at this clear, powerful acid, we are not just seeing a product. We are seeing decades of industrial progress, built into one continuous process.